Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. I am going to be giving you some additional information on Angel Gomes. There is actually no positivity coming out regarding Angel Gomes. Then I'm going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Jadon Sancho. Then I am going to be giving you some latest news on Ciro Immobile, who currently plays for Lazio and that. And then a bit later on in the video, I'm going to be talking with you a bit more about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I am going to go through with you Manchester United's ambitions, of when the Premier League season does resume. So this is what I'm going to negotiate with you about on this video. So the first topic of development we will start with is Angel Gomes. So according to The Athletic, they are saying, that Manchester United are close to agreeing a new contract for Angel Gomes and that, because we do remain in contract negotiations with Angel Gomes, and it has been a long process, to be fair, because we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomes, but he has turned this down. Obviously, there's no agreement yet that's been reached with Manchester United and the player, but reportedly it is close. Reportedly, we've offered Angel Gomes a contract worth around £25,000 a week. Obviously, on his current contract at the moment, Angel Gomes is on around £17,000 a week. Don't forget, though, we've got to make a decision on his future, because Angel Gomes' current contract does expire at the end of this month. And I think if he signs a new contract at Manchester United, Angel Gomes will get his opportunities. Angel Gomes has found game time very, very difficult since he broke into the senior squad. He broke into the senior squad in 2017 in our 1-0 win, was it, against Palace, if I can remember rightly. But he's only made 6 first team appearances this season, but he's only made 10 in total since he broke into the senior squad. Up until this point, Angel Gomes has spent the entirety of his career with Manchester United and that. Of course, don't forget, Angel Gomes became the youngest player to represent Man United, since Duncan Edwards back in the 1950s. Also became the first player born in the 2000s to appear in the Premier League. These clubs, that are monitoring Angel Gomes' situation, don't forget, Chelsea are obviously, in for him. It did say before that Arsenal were in for him, and also to Barcelona were in for the player and that. But we do want Angel Gomes to stay at Manchester United, because we do think he is the foreseeable future at the club. And, there you go and that. Like I said, Chelsea have, done really, really good. They've done good recruitment so far. Obviously, they got Hakim Ziyech in February, I think it was, from Ajax for around 37 or 38 million pounds. They're on the verge of getting Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. That's a very, very good signing for Chelsea, because Chelsea have been in search for a striker. Recent reports have said as well that Chelsea are trying to get, Kai Havertz. He said earlier on this week that Chelsea put a £75 million bid in for him. And also to Ben Chilwell is Chelsea's number one priority target in that. But I did say, didn't I, in my recent videos, that Chelsea and us are looking to make transfer moves to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool and that. So this is positive news regarding Angel Gomes. I think he is only at the age of 19, is the player. So we are close to getting him a new contract according to The Athletic. But, we have been in talks for quite some time. So that's the news regarding him. Now let's delve into news on Jadon Sancho. So I do believe that, Jadon Sancho will leave Borussia Dortmund. We are still, we have been, emerged as the favourites for a while to sign Jadon Sancho. But now, according to recent reports, Liverpool are emerged as the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho. But Liverpool's move for Jadon Sancho hinges on Sadio Mane. So if Sadio Mane was to stay at Liverpool, then Liverpool won't get him. But if Liverpool can sell Sadio Mane, then they are looking to get Jadon Sancho on the board. So that's according to recent reports. Now, obviously, Christian Falk, who is the German football expert, he was recently talking about Jadon Sancho. And he did say, Jadon Sancho will leave Borussia Dortmund on 2 conditions. And that's if That's if Borussia Dortmund's asking price is met. And of course, if Jadon Sancho does force the move, we'll probably have to pay at least £90 million to convince Borussia Dortmund to offload him. It did say from the Telegraph, though, earlier on this week that Borussia Dortmund do want around £115 million for Jadon Sancho. Don't forget, Dortmund have lost their patience with Jadon Sancho. I think, with his off-field distractions. Don't forget, Sancho just recently recovered from a calf injury. And also, too, Jadon Sancho not too long ago got fined £8,000 for breaking lockdown rules, with that haircut picture. But, I think Jadon Sancho, is our number one priority target. And, he has been our number one priority target for so long. Solskjaer, was recently talking with Marcus Rashford, about Jadon Sancho, because Marcus Rashford did say earlier on in the season that he wants Jadon Sancho at Manchester United, because Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford, have got a very, very good friendship. But obviously, Jadon Sancho has said on quite a few occasions, that if he does leave Borussia Dortmund, his preferred option is a move to Manchester United. And that there's still some people out there that believe that, Jadon Sancho will remain loyal to Borussia Dortmund for another season, will leave next summer instead of this summer and that. But for such a long time now, Borussia Dortmund have remained ruthless over their valuation, we've been trying to get him in a cut price deal. It said a while ago we was trying to get him for 60 or 70 million pounds, but neither of them figures are going to be enough to convince, Borussia Dortmund to offload him. Borussia Dortmund do know how much of an imperative player he is, and, Dortmund are known as a selling football club because they have let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. They let Christian Pulisic go, they let Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang go, they let Ilkay Gundogan go, Mkhitaryan, Shinji Kagawa. There's also players that they've let go who obviously, didn't go to the Premier League, and that was Ousmane Dembele, went to Barcelona. Matt Hummels, he went to Bayern Munich. But to be fair, Dortmund have recruited a few players in recent years. They got obviously Erling Haaland in January. Erling Haaland did recently say that he's not interested in making a move to Manchester United. When he gets asked about United, he mentions Leeds United because Erling Haaland was obviously born in Leeds. He was our number one priority target in January, was Erling Haaland, but obviously we didn't get him on the board. It was a shame that we didn't get him because obviously he's played under Solskjaer at Molde. Solskjaer was the one that gave him his debut at just the age of 16, so Solskjaer was keen on a reunion with the player. They got Emre Can in. They also got Thorgan Hazard in. They also got, Julian Braun in as well. But the players that they've let go in recent years, Dortmund have generated a lot of money for their departures. Dortmund have been in the process, of trying to extend Jadon Sancho's contract, but he's got no intentions of extending his contract. Jadon Sancho's contract with Borussia Dortmund runs until 2022, so still a few years left on his contract. Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Man City, so Dortmund got him for next to nothing. So Dortmund are looking to make a huge profit on the player. Jadon Sancho's valuation has persistently grown, in the few years he's been with Borussia Dortmund, reflecting on his good run of performances. This has been Jadon Sancho's third season with Borussia Dortmund. It's been his third season with them. But I've already outlined a couple of reasons, why I'd take him at Man United. Like I said, good friendship with Rashford. Also, too, well proven in the Premier League. Sancho's a former Manchester City player. The main explanation, why he left Manchester City is because he didn't get any first team opportunities. And before he was at Man City, he was at Watford. So Borussia Dortmund is the third club in his playing career, Jadon Sancho's and all of that. Don't forget, I've already made a promise to Sancho. We are willing to offer Jadon Sancho the number 7. Like I said, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. We had the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. Best number 7 we've had. And definitely best player we've had in the Premier League era. We had Eric Cantona, number 7 at one point. George Best, David Beckham. Owen as well. But our recent number 7s have been so inconsistent. Obviously, Sanchez was inconsistent, and also to Memphis Depay was inconsistent in that. So there you go. But we have been working on Jadon Sancho's contract, and we've been in negotiations with his agent for quite some time. You had David Ornstein, who's a very credible journalist. He said, was it around 3 or 4 weeks ago now, that there's a very high chance that Sancho will join Man United in the summer transfer window. But we first expressed our interest in Sancho in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era and all of that. Did say a while back, Jadon Sancho's move to Man United could depend on, Champions League qualification and that, so obviously, Chelsea have been tracking Jadon Sancho as well. Don't forget he was a boyhood Chelsea fan. He did actually, say that Chelsea have come to accept the fact now that they're not going to get Jadon Sancho, because they believe, he's going to come to Manchester United and that, but we have been in fame for so long. He's predominantly a right winner, and he is only at the age of 20, is Sancho. Yes, but a bit, more additional information, we'll definitely update about him. So that's the latest news on Jadon Sancho. But obviously, Borussia Dortmund have had a few players on their agenda that could replace Sancho. Obviously, we've got a few alternatives, if we fail to sign Jadon Sancho. Obviously, Figo Almeida's been one of them alternatives. Rabbi Matondo from Schalke's been one of them alternatives. Also, too, Federico Bernardeschi's been one of them alternatives, and Semaine Fati Vieira from Barcelona. He's also been one of them alternatives as well. And some of them, would be much cheaper solutions than Jadon Sancho and that. So there you go. Now, let's give you the news on Sir Immobile from Lazio. And these stories, I think, are stemming from Ciro Mercato, if I've pronounced that correctly. And they are saying now that Manchester United have expressed an interest in Ciro Immobile. Now, he's a very, very good player, is Immobile. Obviously, currently plays for Lazio. I think now this is his 4th season with Lazio. He has got a contract with Lazio until 2023 as a player, so still got a few years left on his contract. He's a prolific goal scorer. He's got good physical attributes. I think he's got 30 goals in 33 Serie A games this season. But he is, very, very effective in the air. His distribution's very, very good. He can pass the ball very, very well. He's really, really good at creating chances. And to be honest with you I think he complements our attacking line really, really well. But he's done very, very well at Lazio. And he's actually, played for a lot of clubs during his playing career so far. I think Lazio did pay around €8.5 million for him. I think there was also a commission of around £700,000 for agents and all of that. But they did get him for around €8.5 million. I'm actually not too sure how much that equates to in pounds sterling. But Immobile, before he was at Lazio, I think if I'm right, he was at Sevilla. He's obviously played for Torino in the past. He's also played for Borussia Dortmund in the past. I think he's also played for Genoa as well. Pascara, if I've pronounced that team's name correctly. When he was a lot younger, he obviously played for Juventus. He actually began his footballing career at Sorrento. Yeah, I've pronounced that correctly, I think. That's where he began his footballing career. He is the age of 30, is Immobile. So he's actually, aging up, is the player. It hasn't actually, said in the media, how much he would cost, the player. My guess is probably maybe around 50, maybe 60 million pounds, if it was to get him on the board. But I'm actually, very, very sceptical, that we're going to get Ciro Immobile, because Lazio are on the verge of getting qualification for the Champions League. He's a striker, but I think he's versatile. He can play anywhere in the attacking line and that. But I do now believe anyway that Manchester United are in search for a striker. It did say a few weeks ago that actually Solskjaer decided to shelve the plans for a striker. Meaning, he wasn't really interested in getting one in. The main explanations is because, he wants to see how Mason Greenwood develops. Mason Greenwood's enjoyed a very, very good season with Man United, and this has been his first full season in the senior squad. And also, too, Adi Nagalo extended his loan the other week. Of course, Adi Nagalo extended his loan until the end of January. 2021. So Ighalo's going to be staying at the football club for a further 7 months. And we paid Shanghai Shenhua just over £10 million to extend Odion Ighalo's loan. Like I said, Ighalo enjoyed a good start to his Man United career, before the season got suspended, 4 goals in like 8 appearances and that, and he was getting starts, but may now find starts very difficult, obviously, because Marcus Rashford is now back from his back injury. But, we have got a lot of good attacking players in that, but maybe we're still looking to get a striker on the board, and like I've said to Immobile, is a recent strike on our agenda. Obviously, the likes of Moussa Dembele on our agenda. Erling Haaland's been on our agenda. Timo Werner at one point, was on our agenda. Harry Kane a couple of months ago was on our agenda. So there's been a lot of strikers on our agenda in that. So yeah, so that is the latest news basically on all of the transfers. So there you go. So there you go. Now, let me give you some news regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. I've got to be honest with you now. I think, we are Solskjaer is rediscovering his identity at Manchester United and that. And, like I updated you earlier on today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may be given a £1 million bonus if he can guide us to a top 4 finish, when the Premier League season does resume. I think at the moment Solskjaer is on around £7.5 million a year at Manchester United. It is a big increase on his wages, it's a big increase on his wages because obviously, he was on like 400 grand a year when he was at Molde. But obviously, he's on less than half than what Jose Mourinho was receiving, because when Jose Mourinho was at Man United, he was on like £15 million per year, was Jose Mourinho on that. So yeah, he's going to get a £1 million bonus if, he can guide us to a top 4 finish. I give you that news earlier on today and all of that. But like I said, I think, we can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window. I really, really do. Because, like I said, the vast majority of our top 6 rivals, are probably not even going to be in the summer transfer market. Probably Man City aren't going to be in it. Probably Liverpool aren't going to make any signings, or, they're not going to make any Glasgow signings. Daniel Levy at Tottenham doesn't like to spend money. Arsenal, have had players taking wage cuts as well. So, we now need to take advantage of this. Solskjaer's already revealed his plans for the summer transfer window. He said, he wants to make around 3 or 4 major signings at the end of the season, because he believes we need around 3 or 4 major signings to become title contenders next season and that. Because, this has been the 7th season now, we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. So that just indicates how inconsistent we have been for the last 7 years or so. And we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season and that. Don't forget, we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. We are the most successful team in England still, because obviously, we've won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues and that. And hopefully, Solskjaer can get us back, to being a competitive elite level football club. Hopefully, Solskjaer, can do this. But Man United are basically, looking to sign players, in Solskjaer's image and his coaching staffs as well. I think Solskjaer, still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and all of that. Obviously, yesterday, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer budget had been revealed. He's gonna get around £269 million to spend in the summer transfer window. And like I mentioned, £269 million should be enough for us, to get, the number of players that we want in, and it should be enough for us, to get the right caliber players into the football club. Obviously, already, Solskjaer spent over £200 million since he got recommended into the football club. Of course, so far, Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at Manchester United. Obviously, didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window, but in the 2 previous windows, he's recommended 5 players in. Last summer, he recommended Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And of course, in January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odin Ighalo in. We got Ighalo on loan, don't forget. So obviously, at the moment, Solskjaer has made 4 permanent signings at the football club. So yeah, revert back to what I said, £269 million should be enough. Like I said, we are going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's looking to get rid of more of the deadwood. So we are going to generate money in that aspect. We're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of Phil Jones because Phil Jones can't even get in the team. I think we're going to get rid of Pereira. We're going to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're looking to get rid of Rojo, Smalling and Sanchez on permanent transfers. So we are going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. But actually, Solskjaer's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. We have seen a total of 19 players leave Man United since Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club. Solskjaer's now been at Manchester United for a year and a half. So he has been here for 18 months, including, the 3 months when he was the interim manager. Solskjaer did really, really well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, and that's the main explanation why we give him the job permanently in that. We're giving the job in March of last year, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. And I think he has been permanent Manchester United manager now, is it for around 15 or 16 months or something like that. But like I said, I have taken positives from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure so far. I've also added some negatives into the equation as well, and there's still things that, Solskjaer does need to work on that. But the positives, like I said, he's got rid of a lot of players since he came in. He's brought 5 good players in so far. Also, too, he has promoted the youth very, very well, because if you've watched Man United this season, the young players have been given their chances in that. Greenwood's done well, Brandon Williams has done well. But, when Solskjaer got appointed in as Manchester United manager anyway, he did say, that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, which is obviously, very, very good news. Like I said, our record against the big 6 sides this season's been very, very good. We've taken 17 points against the big 6 sides this season. So, that's obviously, very, very good news. There's another good thing as well, a lot of players' contracts have been extended since Solskjaer got recommended in. But I think we're facing a dilemma regarding some of the contracts, because we have got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire next year and that. But the summer transfer window, will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Man United manager. And Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward, because Woodward has said on quite a few occasions this season he's willing to back Solskjaer. And also, too, Solskjaer has got the backing of the Glazers. You've had Ed Woodward that's been at the football club since 2012. We're now in 2020, so Ed Woodward's been at the football club now around 8 years. We've obviously, been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. Obviously, reflects on how poor our recruitment policy's been for several years. Also, of us overpaying for players. Also, too, just overall with some of the decisions he's made, have just not been correct. So this is where I've been critical of Woodward. We've also been very, very critical of the Glazers. The Glazers have been here since 2005, so the Glazers have been at the football club around 15 years. And we've been very, very critical of Solskjaer for the vast majority of this season, because of course earlier on in the season we enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. So let's just put that into the equation. So let's just, put that into the equation and that. So now let's go through Manchester United's ambitions, for when the Premier League season does resume. So obviously, our ambitions is obviously, the top 4. Definitely the top 4 is an ambition for Manchester United, because obviously, we want to get that top 4 to get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Another one of our ambitions is the FA Cup. Don't forget, we have got Norwich in the quarter-finals. Another one of our ambitions is the Europa League. We are into the last 8 of the Europa League, and the FA Cup and the Europa League is a chance for, getting some silverware on the board. And, if we could win one of them, if we could win both of them, or at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. So they are Manchester United's ambitions, for when the football season does resume. Obviously, I'm looking forward to our continuous run as well, because before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form. Don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and that. And Solskjaer will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up when, the football season does resume and that. As you all know, the season is resuming on Wednesday, 17th of June. It is Man City against Arsenal, Aston Villa against Sheffield United. Obviously, our game against Tottenham is on Friday, the 19th of June. Really, really looking forward to that game. But what I'm looking forward to is, seeing Marcus Rashford. Obviously, now Marcus Rashford is back from his back injury, which is very, very good. And like I did say, Marcus Rashford overall is one of our best players, and he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before he sustained that back injury and that. So really, really looking forward to seeing Rashford back in action. Also, really, really looking forward to seeing Paul Pogba back in action, because he's also now back from his back injuries, Paul Pogba. Like I've said to you, I haven't really had a perception on Paul Pogba this season, because he's only played 8 times this season for the football club. Wait there a second. His appearances have been limited, due to his injuries and that, of Paul Pogba's. Like I said, Paul Pogba, played alongside Bruno Fernandes for the first time, was it yesterday, in them 2 friendly games against West Brom. Obviously, we lost the first friendly 2-1, but won the second one by 3-1. I think, the partnership between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes will definitely work. It really, really will. And I'm excited about the prospect of them playing together against Tottenham on Friday. As you all know, Paul Pogba is going to be our number 10. Bruno Fernandes, of course, is going to be our number 8 and that. So I am really, really looking forward to that. And don't forget, we're playing at a new ground, because we've not yet played at Tottenham's new ground. Tottenham did pay around £1 billion for their stadium. I still believe that, Tottenham are paying that off, And there's a lot of live football on television. A lot of live football on, which is obviously, very, very good as well. There's 9 games remaining in the Premier League, and these 92 games to play in all competitions. But the Premier League has been suspended for 12 weeks now, so it's been suspended 3 months. We were supposed to be playing Tottenham on the 15th of March, but due to lockdown, the game could not go ahead. But yeah, Solskjaer going head-to-head with Mourinho. Solskjaer's looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the second time as a manager, because he's already overcome him once this season. And he's looking to beat, Tottenham for the 3rd time as a manager. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. I think Solskjaer's got an idea of what 11 he's going to go with against Tottenham. And he's also got an idea of what, formation he is going to go with as well. So really, really looking forward to the game, and that I really, really am. But yeah. But we need to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at least another season, because it is a transition period for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it has been a transition period for quite some time. Don't forget, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. We've seen 3 managers sacked since the Alex Ferguson era. And that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho and that. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, that's really everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.